Good evening. In this Brahmin life, we have heard about 3 words: renunciation, tapasya, and seva. Tyag, tapasya, and seva. If I want to practice tapasya, intense meditation, and do selfless service, I have to be a complete renunciate. And when we come to Baba, we do have some kind of renunciation. That is why we are able to create our fortune. Without renunciation, there cannot be any fortune. But sometimes some find it difficult to renounce, and sometimes what we have renounced, we take it back. So what is the secret of having complete renunciation so that we don't look back what we have left behind? So this is why when we ask ourselves this question, what comes first? Renunciation or disinterest? How many of you think renunciation first and disinterest after? Raise your hand. Nobody? Wonderful. Why you think it is not renunciation first? You are right. When there is no disinterest, whatever I renounce, I can take it back. But on the basis of disinterest, when I renounce something, I don't want to touch it again. Just like when we clean the house, we collect the rubbish. We don't have any interest in that rubbish. We throw it in the dustbin, and we don't want to look at it again. We have thrown it for good. So when I have an attitude of disinterest, then renunciation is natural. But then the meaning of disinterest must not be misunderstood. Because some people translate disinterest as having no interest. I don't have any interest. I don't have any interest to do service. I don't have any interest to be in the gathering. I just don't have any interest. That is not called disinterest. Actually, in the real sense, having an attitude of unlimited disinterest means having unlimited interest. When you have unlimited disinterest, you have developed unlimited interest. So you have gone beyond limitations. And that is why you are able to let go. So unlimited disinterest means to letting go of the limitations that we have created in the form of boundaries, bondages, barriers, and create a bridge instead. Unlimited disinterest or distaste. Vairagya. Rag means passion. The literal translation is dispassion. So which means I have developed detachment on all four corners. When there is detachment from all four sides, I can understand I have developed an attitude of unlimited disinterest. Detachment from the body, detachment from the bodily relationships, detachment from the material objects, detachment from my own old sanskaras. So that means I am free. Nothing and no one can pull me. Unlimited disinterest also means going beyond the consciousness of I and mine. When I say my Baba, that is it. I have transferred all that which is mine into yours. Nothing is mine. So that is why someone who has an attitude of unlimited disinterest, they have left the shores and begin to travel. As long as the boat is tied to the anchor, the boat cannot move. So having an attitude of unlimited disinterest is to let go of the anchor and let the lifeboat move, which means to let go of the consciousness of I and mine. Another way of looking at unlimited disinterest is having no dependency, no influences. Because any form of dependency makes me subservient. And if I am subservient, I am not able to renounce. I am not able to be a complete renunciate. So to develop this attitude of unlimited disinterest, Baba has taught us many methods. We can use our own experience. We can use the experience of other people and make ourselves imbibe this attitude very easily. One of the attitude Baba has asked us to practice is to see and not to see. Hear, listen, don't hear. Whatever you hear, but don't listen. Which means use your third eye as you interact with others. Use wisdom, knowledge. Don't get just attracted. All that is white is not milk. All that glitters is not gold. Use your third eye. Then you will see but not see. You will hear but not listen. So nothing can influence you. The second attitude Baba has taught us to practice, to develop this, is to look at this world. What kind of attitude I need to have when I see the world around. It is a pomp of Maya, but look at it as a graveyard. Why? Because everything that we see with these eyes is already destroyed. Already it has turned into ashes. So when I look at this world as dead, a graveyard, I won't have any interest to attach my heart to the dead bodies. That is why when people leave their body, when they go to the graveyard for cremation, at that time they have a sort of disinterest, what is called crematorium disinterest. Temporary. They begin to feel, what is life after all? One day I am also going to die like this. I don't want anything in this world. Just that feeling of disinterest for a while. But of course, when they come out of the crematorium, when they come back home, they begin to fight. This is mine, that is yours. So Baba does not want us to have that kind of temporary disinterest. When we come to Madhuban, when we have yoga bhattis, when senior come to us, when we listen to them, when there is a power of the gathering, we also have a crematorium disinterest. Temporary disinterest. It's true, I should not have attachment to anything. I should not have greed. Like this morning Baba said, no, you should not have too much of things to keep with you. So we do have that. But then when we go back to our places, when we see our relatives, when we look at the glittering Maya's world, then the thought begins to come, I want this and I want that and I want the other. Greed begins to emerge. So where that disinterest gone? Because it is not from the bottom of my heart. The realization has not come from the bottom of my heart. It is only in the head. So this is why Dadi Prakashmani used to say, it is very easy to have disinterest for my body. No, not having any attachment, just to look at this body as a vehicle, instrument given by God in trust. This is not mine. And sometimes Baba uses very strong words to create disinterest. Why you get attracted towards the body? This body is full of insects. Its body is decayed. This body is old shoe. So has so many patches, so many things Baba says to create disinterest, so that we don't get attracted to our own body and the bodies of others. So from our experience, I think we all find it not so difficult to renounce, to create an attitude of disinterest towards the body. That does not mean that you don't take care of your body, but you look after it as a trustee. Like a temple trustee looks after temple. So this body is a temple. I am looking after it as a trustee. I don't have any personal interest as I used to have before. Then the second thing is disinterest towards bodily relationships. Because these are the things that pulls our intellect when we sit in yoga. Does not allow us to have yoga. No, pulling towards bodily relationships. So I have to ask myself, why am I getting pulled towards bodily relationships? What did they give me? Baba has given me whatever I wanted. What can they give me more than what Baba has given? So I have to use my own experience. I have to talk to myself. All that I received was only sorrow unhappiness, pain, by attaching my heart to the bodily relatives. So I don't want to again get that kind of experience. When you burn your hand once, you don't want to go and put your hand in the hot water again, knowing that you will get burnt. So I have to talk to myself. What did I receive by spending my time, my energy, my thoughts with my bodily relatives? So I don't want to have any attachment. Yes, I will just fulfill my responsibility as a trustee. I look at them as I am a caretaker. I am just doing my duty. But nothing is mine. They are also God's children. I am kept there just to look after them. So use your own experience to create, in strong word, I would say, the feeling of dislikingness, in the sense, I don't want to get into that experience again. I don't want to go through the same process. Enough is enough. So until I use my own experience, I cannot create disinterest. So I cannot let go of the attachment. Then I cannot have powerful yoga. Because something that becomes an obstacle in having powerful yoga is desires and attachment. And if I have attachment and desires, that is lack of unlimited disinterest. That does not mean that you don't fulfill your responsibility. That does not mean that you don't take care of your body, but not with the feeling of mine, attachment. Oh, mine, my relatives, my body. So that actually creates a barrier. And the third important attraction that pulls my yoga of intellect away from Baba is attraction towards material objects. Things made out of matter. It is such a shame, isn't it? I am a living being. I am the master, and I am attracted towards elements of matter. In fact, the energy of mind is greater than matter. But today, they have made me subservient. So disinterest towards material objects means not to have any kind of attraction, greed, desire to have, possess, craving feeling in your mind, in your heart. I just have enough leading a simple life, as Baba said, then you will be royal. Because this is one of the things that pulls my intellect away from Baba. Even in the story of Ramayana, you have heard why Sita was separated from Rama, because she got attracted towards the golden deer. Actually, Ravan, who came in the form of golden deer, separated them. So same thing happens to us when we have attraction. Use everything, but don't use anything with that thought, I like it. That is lack of disinterest. Because when you use some material objects with this attitude, I like it, you are dependent. And when you don't have it, you become desperate. You become restless. You can't do without it. Enjoy living with your relatives. Nothing wrong. But then don't make them depend on you. Don't depend on them. You have to be independent and let them be and let you be. So when I develop this kind of attitude, not depending on any material objects, because we know that they are all made out of matter, and matter is subjected to change. So I can't make them my foundation. So that is one thing. And the important disinterest that I need to create to be really a tapasvi, to bring total transformation, is renunciation, means disinterest for my old sanskara. That is where we are stuck now. Many of us, yes, have disinterest for the body, bodily relatives, even worldly objects. Enough is enough. But when it comes to sanskaras, we are still holding on to it. And that is why total transformation has not happened. So total transformation will happen when I transform my deep-rooted sanskara. And I can transform my deep-rooted sanskara only when I have disinterest for it. When you think something is dirty, something is rotten, then you throw it, isn't it? When you think something is nice, you keep putting it back into your bag. So, do I really recognize my deep-rooted sanskara that I have to renounce in order to become a powerful yogi? First of all, I have to recognize these are my deep-rooted sanskaras. Then I can create disinterest for them. So how do you create disinterest, distaste, dispassion towards your old sanskaras? For that, you need to ask 3 questions to yourself. It is not something you can be taught to have an attitude of disinterest. You have to develop that attitude yourself on the basis of recognition of Baba, recognition of the self, and recognition of the time. On the basis of these 3 things, you have to make that effort to develop that attitude. So, in order to develop an attitude of disinterest towards my sanskaras, first question I need to ask myself, first of all, I need to write down what are those deep-rooted sanskaras I still hold in my intellect, in my heart. Just like people give up everything, but they keep a few things that they like. There's a story, they say one king, he renounced everything to become a sannyasi, but then he was only carrying the stick, walking stick, when he moved out of the palace. So people asked him, when you have renounced everything, why are you taking the walking stick? Leave that also. So this is what is connected with us. So we think we have renounced everything, but we are still keeping pocket money. Something hidden as a comfort zone to use from time to time. So for me, an attitude of unlimited disinterest is total surrender. Hands up. Hands up. Total surrender. Nothing, not even a trace of the old remains within myself. Dadi was saying the other day, we have taken new birth. Brahmin means new birth. We have died from the old. So we should not have any trace of the laukik in our alaukik life. I remember Dadi was sharing her experience. Once Dadi was little bit sad, that she was not making so much effort. So Baba said, "What happened to you?" So Baba said, "Why you feel that way is because you are pulled towards your laukik. And why you are pulled towards laukik, it is not their fault, it is your fault. Why? Because you are still thinking about you as Janak. And that is why the laukik relatives are pulling you. The moment you let go of that name, they will stop pulling you also." So what it means is, if I have even a trace of drop of blood of the laukik in my intellect, I will be pulled towards the bodily relatives. So that is why, to create an attitude of unlimited disinterest, I have to die alive. Because when a person is dead, for them, the whole world is dead. What can attract the dead body? Nothing. No sound, nothing can attract. So I have to lead a life of living death. See, don't see, hear, don't hear. Live in this body, yet beyond, just like a lotus. So this is why the consciousness I need to have, whenever I look at my sanskara, because we are still using, we still have ownership. That's why we say, "Oh, it is my old sanskara." If I do something, if I speak in a particular way, if somebody asks, "Why you?" "Oh, that is my old sanskara, that is my nature." So that means I still have ownership. So unlimited disinterest means no more ownership. There is no more ownership of mine there. Mine has merged into one my Baba. That is how we sustain. So I need to really ask this question to myself, keeping, first of all, identifying my strong sanskara that I have, and then ask myself how much sorrow and unhappiness I have experienced in my life because of this particular sanskara. Give yourself some time. Think about it from your childhood, not just Brahmin life. That sanskara is in you from childhood. So remember, go through the film, rewind the film, and see how much sorrow and unhappiness you have taken and you have given to others because of this sanskara. Enough, I don't want it anymore. I realize it from my heart and pull it out. The second question I need to ask myself is, how much sorrow and pain I have given, in not just in relationship, but in my interaction, in my service, personal life, social life, job life, for others, to myself, because of this sanskara, using that sanskara. And the third question is, how much obstacle I have created for myself in my effort. So when I go through this in depth, I will be able to understand enough is enough. So with that kind of realization, when I pull out that sanskara from within, I surrender it to Baba, then I am able to become free. Until then, you will find that every now and then, for a while the sanskara remains hidden, and all of a sudden it emerges again. And sometimes we wonder why. So it is not temporary disinterest. An attitude of disinterest means permanent disinterest. That's what Baba said a couple of weeks ago. Until the people who are living on this earth, all of them have disinterest for this world, the world cannot change. But we can allow the people to have limited disinterest by having unlimited disinterest ourselves. Our unlimited disinterest inspire other people to have limited disinterest. They will also beginning to understand, oh, this world is going to go. New world is coming. This world is going to, turn into ashes. There's no point attaching heart to this. Just like, when there is a patient who is a hopeless case, under oxygen, everybody knows that person is going to die. It's no point attaching your heart. So people should feel that way. This world is a hopeless case and it is not going to survive too long. So we should really let go of our attachment. We don't need to see through our words, but our disinterest should show them. But as Dadi said, until now, we don't have that attitude of unlimited disinterest. We have desire for name, we have desire for fame, we have desire for respect, honor, and that is why we complain when we don't get it. So we haven't had unlimited disinterest. So what it means to develop unlimited interest is to remember all that Baba has given you. It is not an empty stage, it is a stage of being full. You have so much of self-respect, you have so much of feeling of attaining everything from Baba that you are not looking out for a little from somebody, that you feel disappointed. No, Dadi said yesterday, why people cannot have renunciation? Because of expectation. When you have expectation that others should praise you, others should give you respect, when that is not happening, it is very difficult for you to renounce. So I have to develop unlimited interest in thinking about realizing, understanding, experiencing what Baba has given me. No, that is my experience also. I don't have to make effort to renounce this, renounce that. It is too much. Because that's why sometimes when other people look at Brahma Kumaris, they say, oh, I don't want to become like you because your life is a life of renunciation, but I want to enjoy my life. They appreciate your life, but they run away 2 miles away. Yeah? I don't want to become like you. Why? When we ask people, is Brahma Kumari life a renunciation or a fortune? Everybody say, oh, it is a life of fortune. So if it is a life of fortune, why don't you show it on your face that others get inspired to create the fortune? But what happens is, we are only thinking most of the time what we have renounced. So that comes on our face. But we don't think so much about what we have attained. You ask yourself, am I right or not? What do you think most of the day? After becoming Baba's child, oh, I cannot do this also, I cannot go there also, I cannot eat this also, We always think about don'ts only. So, when some people will look at us, they will get shocked. Oh, this is a renunciate person. But in fact, what fortune we have got is more than what we have renounced. So if my renunciation is based on disinterest, the fortune will appear on my face. So disinterest does not dispel others from me. You know, when they look at me, they won't get dispelled, but they will get attracted to become like you because they see the fortune on your face. So it is not something that makes you a sannyasi, a renunciate in the sense dry yogi. Oh, I have renounced everything. I don't want to talk also. I don't want to mix with people also. I just want to be on my own. That is not disinterest. That's why Baba said today in the slogan, no? If you want to create a powerful stage, you have to have the balance of introversion plus entertaining nature. See, Brahma Baba was like that. He was the best entertainer. Dadi Prakashmani was like that. That is why everybody loved. Because there is a balance of detachment and love in unlimited disinterest. As much love you have, that much detachment also you have. That is the proof of an attitude of unlimited disinterest. You live in the world and yet you are not of the world. You are in the gathering, but at the same time, you are totally aware of who you are, not get colored. So when there is extreme, either too much of detachment or too much of love, that is not called disinterest. No, that's why Brahma Baba also demonstrated it practically. He cared for the children, but he did not worry about them. Because if you have worry, that is attachment. But if you have concern, it's a sign of caring. So Baba doesn't teach us to be don't care, some Brahmins do disservice that way. Because they think that after becoming Baba's children, they are detached, they have disinterest, they don't have to take care of the family or the body. No. Actually, caring, concern is a sign of loving, but attachment is actually ties you in bondage. So when you think about disinterest, you can think about the balance of detachment and love. You see everything, you hear everything, you know everything, but you continue to fulfill your responsibility. Just like Baba, Shiv Baba. He knows each one of us. He knows our weakness. He knows what we are doing. Yet, he doesn't stop fulfilling his responsibility. Because we are doing wrong, he don't get affected and they say, okay, I will stop Murlis from today. They don't practice what I say in the Murli, No. 75 years, day and night, he is giving Murli because he loves us and he knows we are the ones who will become. But we become tired when we are looking after others because we have some kind of limited motive. So, it is unlimited in the sense, it is for all time. It is not temporary. It is not just because the atmosphere is like this. We hear in the news, oh, there was a tsunami, so many people died. Oh, there was an earthquake. Immediately we got in disinterest. One day this will also happen. And after a few days, everything calmed down. We go back to normal. That is not called disinterest. But we know that Baba has been telling us, whatever you see with these eyes, they are not going to stay. All are going to be destroyed. So I need to develop that practice. When I see everything around, it's already gone. So I don't have to make effort when they go, because I already see them gone. I remember once we were in Singapore, we were going with Dadi Janki in the car during Christmas time. All high-rise buildings, Christmas decoration. So Dadi was asking us, you think whatever you are seeing, all these things were not here before and it will not be there after. Are you looking at these things with that attitude? No, we were not. So our attention was drawn. You know how dadis, they see, but they don't look. But what we do is we see and we look and we take the photograph. And that bothers us all the time. That is called attraction. So no attraction, no pull, no push, no attachment. Just be, so that I am able to connect myself with Baba. So then I am able to let go of my old nature, old sanskara, which are alien. Actually, they are alien. Unless you consider them to be alien, you don't have disinterest to throw it away. By mistake, if somebody's handkerchief comes into your handbag, and how uncomfortable you will feel. Oh, this is not mine. Until you throw it away, you don't feel comfortable, isn't it? Alien. So until you feel those sanskaras that I have, old sanskaras are alien, and I want to throw it away, I will not feel comfortable. So I have to look at it as foreign. I have to look at it as something not belonging to me. Then only I can create that disinterest. But if I keep on having ownership, then I cannot. So this is why this exercise is very important. Simple exercise we have to do when we look around anywhere. Even when we look at any human being, no matter how beautiful they are, but the body is tamopradhan, so I don't need to get attracted. No matter how beautiful something is glittering, that is only external. I don't need to get attracted. So once I have attraction towards one Baba, then all these things doesn't make any kind of meaning to my life. So that is why I should feel everything in this world has no taste, nissar, no essence. It is like husk of the sugar cane. So would you sit and chew the husk of the sugar cane to damage your teeth? You will not look at it. So look at the world like that. It's like a husk of the sugar cane where all the essence is being taken away. I don't need to attract towards it. Let me step into Baba's world. That's what Baba said today. Until you have an attitude of unlimited disinterest, you cannot live in Baba's world. You can't be smart traveling in two boats with 2 feet, one foot in one boat and another foot in another boat. You have to decide whether you want to live in this world or live in Baba's world. And if you want to live in Baba's world, you have to lift your feet from this world. That means create an attitude of unlimited disinterest so that I begin to experience the taste of supersensuous joy living in Baba's world. So think about these things, If you have not yet created an attitude of unlimited disinterest towards either your body or bodily relation, material objects, your sanskara, do it now before the old year finishes. Give all that old to God. Ramesh Bhai once said, what is the easy way to become gold? He said, give all that which is old to God, you become gold. So make up your mind before the 31st comes. Decide to throw away all that which is old rubbish, so that once you have renounced the old on the basis of disinterest, your fortune begins to increase and your tapasya becomes powerful and you are able to do selfless service. So I just leave you with these thoughts for now.